Today I'm going to demonstrate the cleanup of DP1010 spray equipment. In this particular case I have a Graco Mark IV sprayer. I've sprayed the shaft with PAM cooking oil just to make the cleanup a little bit easier in the end. You should have 5 gallons of water. In this case I'm going to have a little bit less just to make the demonstration a little quicker. A cleanup bucket for waste. And then I also have a toothbrush for cleaning out the little cracks and crevices if I should need to. So what I've done already is I've removed the tip and the guard from my spray gun. I've got that in my clean water already soaking so the sealer doesn't set up. I have the kickstand on the Graco Mark IV. What I do is I push that back. I do not put the primer valve in the sealer. The DP1010 does not need it, and it's a little bit easier to clean up. In this particular case, I've not had the coarse filter at the end, just to make my cleanup a little bit easier. In the shop, in the field, you should probably have that filter on. The sealer will go through that. And what I show you here is you should always consult your Graco or whoever your Airless sprayer is equipment for full cleanup procedures. So I've got it tilted back. I just simply wipe the sealer back into the bucket. Slide the bucket out of the way, and I put my clean water in. And again, my sealer, this is a little bit shorter cleanup. I've only got a couple gallons of water in here. And the system is not charged with sealant. So if this were charged with sealant, what you would do is kick it back, draw in air for just a few seconds, what that does is it gives me an air pocket in the middle of the system, and it allows me to chase the sealer out of the system back into my bucket. When it burps with the air bubble that comes through, I know that water's behind it, and then I can move my gun from my 5-gallon pail of DP1010 spray into my waste bucket. So as you do this, always think of where the pressure is in the system. What you don't want to do is pull the trigger and have it come out at 1500 psi and hit wastewater, or hit the bottom of a bucket and come back in your face. In this particular case, I have very little pressure in it, but just to be sure, I'm going to cover the end with a rag, pull the trigger, get the water going through the system, and then start it up. Now what I would do is I would run about 4 gallons through the system. In this particular Graco Mark IV, I have a fast flush system. And it allows me to run 2 to 3 gallons per minute, allowing me to go through a 5-gallon pail in a minute or two. So now that after I get the about 4 gallons run through it, I still have a little bit of clean water at the bottom. I would tilt back the shaft, wet down my rag, and wipe everything down. Now when I get towards the very end, I'll take my sealer, my gun, which I have no pressure in, and I'll use that to clean the rest of my shaft. Now, the very last thing I'll do is I'll put the guard with the tip in it back in my spray gun. I'll fully submerge it, pull the trigger, reverse it, pull the trigger, now my system's clean. We leave the water in it. You're just going to leave it for a couple days. You're going to leave it for a week or longer. RV antifreeze does a great job.